properly build a tracked URL so you can track things inside of your Google Analytics. So you just go to the Google's campaign URL builder. You can find this by Googling campaign URL builder, and Google will bring you to this page. And all of these fields are going to be blank. And you're going to want to put all sorts of crazy things in here, just thinking, I'm going to track everything. And oftentimes, what can happen if you just put anything in here is you can pollute your data. So here's the right way to do it. You're always going to start with your website URL. I will tell you that driving traffic to your homepage is just about useless when you are tracking campaigns. A campaign should have a specific action you want audiences to take, and that action is visiting a blog post or going to your services page or viewing your gallery. But if you dump everybody into your home page, you're not really going to be able to understand what action they took and how they were motivated. So make sure that when you are choosing your website URL to put into your campaign URL builder, it is not the home page, it's an internal page. The campaign source is always where the link is coming from. Now, Google tells you to put Google or newsletter, but I actually like putting in other URLs, top domain URLs. So facebook.com, twitter.com, instagram.com. If you're using an affiliate or a referrer, it could be something like paisleyevents.com. But generally, it is some sort of website. It's wherever the link is coming from. If you are using email marketing, you can put MailChimp.com or ActiveCampaign.com or something along those lines. Then you have the campaign medium. Now, this is where Google Analytics gets very picky. They only like to use certain terms. So if you are on social media, it's always social. And the way you can find which default terms Google uses is if you log into your analytics and you go to your admin and your view settings and then go to channel grouping, you'll see that Google Analytics has what's called a default channel grouping. And in this section, they will tell you exactly how to group, how they want you to group the medium. So it's direct, organic, search, which you would never use because organic's organic. You would never use direct either. But social, email, affiliates, referral, paid search, other advertising, or display. So for most of you, you're going to be living in the social, email, referral, maybe paid search. And referral just means like if you're able to track a link from the Knot or Wedding Wire, or if you're able to track a link from a directory listing on a local blog, that would be referral. Now, Google capitalizes all of these. As a matter of course, when I am tracking URLs, I have trained myself to get into the habit of putting everything into lowercase. That's because Google still recognizes upper and lowercase differently. And so sometimes if you do uppercase and sometimes if you do lowercase, it's going to see those terms differently. And it will mess with your data. So lowercase is fine. Yes, you can override this function in Google Analytics, but that is an advanced customized feature. So just keep it simple and put everything in lowercase. And then you have your campaign name, which is required. Now, campaign name for me is always, a campaign is always the action that I want people to take. And so for me, I generally have a couple of campaigns that I use all the time. I have a little tracking grid where I assign campaign names. So right now for Mountainside Media, I'm trying to drive visits to the blog where people can be pixeled. I'm trying to promote my lead magnet, and I'm trying to drive traffic to my services page. And over here, I have a UTM parameter, which is blog-visit, lead-magnet, and services. You want to plan out your campaigns and make sure that you understand what the UTM parameters are, because like anything in Google Analytics, the more you can bucket things and stay consistent, the more your data will be useful and give you insights. And especially if you have a team tracking URLs for you, you definitely want to have them understand which campaigns you are tracking and not freeform this. Then for campaign term and campaign content, you can leave this blank. I personally, when I'm doing social media, running some tests to see if stock images or personal images work better, and my campaign term is for my core content pillars, but you do not have to fill these out. So once you've filled out all of the forms with the asterisks, there will be a generated URL for you, and you can simply copy this URL, especially if you're just using it straight for a Facebook link post, or if you're using it for a link in bio for Instagram, you can just copy the URL. You can also convert the URL to a short link. You will have to link this to your Bitly account for this to work its magic, but you have that option. And that's how to properly tag URLs using Google Analytics Campaign URL Builder.